broadcasters and journalists, Afua Hagen and Thomas Copeland. Good to see you again, guys. Afua, to you first. This is a story online with The Guardian. I have to admit, I had to do a double take on all of this. But finally, the United States House of Representatives appear to be catching up with the 21st century.
Oh, yes, they do. So the US House of Representatives have passed a bill yesterday called the Crown Act. Now, Crown stands for Creating Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, and this bill basically bans race-based discrimination against black people with natural hairstyles. Now, two progressive Democratic representatives put this forward, and they were citing research that black students with natural hairstyles face discrimination and detention at school. So they have passed this bill through the House of Representatives called the Crown Act that basically bans that kind of discrimination. Now, it still has to go through the House of Senate, has to get about 60 votes to go through, and that could be an uphill struggle. But it really is an important bill to get passed. In fact, if you Google unprofessional hairstyles, the hairstyles that will come up first are those natural hairstyles, Afro hairstyles. So this bill goes a long way to try and negate that and try and bust the myth that natural black hairstyles are in some way unprofessional or are not deemed fit for school. So the Crown Act goes some way to doing that.
Thomas, your story is on the front of the Eyes Weekend edition, and the headline kind of basically sums up the story. Putin parties, Ukraine burns.
I just thought that the contrast between the pictures was so striking. We were seeing some of these photographs earlier of Putin's rally happening in Moscow. Compare that to the image on the front of the Eye Weekend today of the devastation left in the wake of his armies shelling in Ukraine. The Eye reporting on their front cover that Russia is changing tactics to a war of attrition. It says that intelligence chiefs claim that this will involve indiscriminate use of firepower with increased civilian casualties. Cities like Mariupol now look like sets from a horror movie, and witnesses there making their way to Lviv and the east of Ukraine, saying that, dead bodies lying in the streets, the city's reduced to dust. And of course, this is familiar territory for the Russians. If you look back at the work of the Russian army in Chechnya and Syria, their response to rather than containment or even occupying cities, like the places where they go, has been to reduce it to dust. So, it doesn't matter to Putin whether these are cities, as he so claims, that are so central to some sort of Russian cultural identity. If they do not bend the knee, he will reduce them to nothing and wipe them off the map. So I just thought that image of the front page of the Eye Weekend was so striking in comparison to what a lot of those other papers are running with those jubilant-style propaganda images that we've seen from Moscow and Putin's rally in the last couple of days.
Yeah, it is striking. We're just about to run out of time, so I just want a word from you on what we are seeing. Do you personally have any confidence the violence is going to end there anytime soon?
No, not at all, because like Liz Truss pointed out, Putin seems to be coming to the table, or his representatives do, to have peace talks, whilst continually bombing the Ukraine and whilst continually committing war crimes by hitting civilian targets. So it doesn't seem to me that Putin and Russia has really any ideas of backing down anytime soon, of ending this conflict. So no confidence from me, I'm afraid.
Not the note I wish to end on, but it's always lovely to see the pair of you. Afua, Thomas, we'll have you on again very, very soon, I'm sure. For now, thanks very much. You can stay right where you are. Coming up next, we will be discussing the prospect of an end to the violence. Will there be face-to-face talks, as Vladimir Zelensky wants?